Hello. So thank you very much. And joining us today to present our DigiPass for Apps solution for mobile banking is Stephen Staley with Endeavor. Stephen is the Director of Banking Solutions for Endeavor, and they have been our partner in integrating our security solutions for our retail and commercial mobile banking application clients. Now, if you know VASCO, you probably hear of us as the hardware token vendor, and we know that hardware tokens, you guys really want to use those with mobile apps too. Really, I've never heard that before. So what we're going to show you is how you can utilize strong factor authentication in the mobile application world. So first of all, this really is a new area in mobile banking. All we've been hearing is how are you going to garner revenue from these mobile applications that you've been giving out to your clients. To get money back from these mobile investments, you have to make available revenue-generating activities through the mobile application. Sometimes this is hindered by the security factor, and with the security factor, sometimes you think you're hindering convenience. You need to do these processes that you allow retail customers to do online, anywhere in the world, at any time, and have the same capabilities as the online channel, but you have to do it in a secure fashion, not to worry about the threats, but you have to increase the security factor. You don't want someone having to use that hardware token. You need to increase security as well as increase convenience at the same time. So we've created a solution called DigiPass for Apps, where we take our secure binaries in our history of two-factor authentication and we embed it directly into the application that's already on the App Store, launched to the public. So first thing that we have to do is we have to make sure that the correct binaries are being delivered to the correct application and to the correct person. So when someone goes to the App Store, they're going to enter some sort of identifiers that are defined by the bank, and what they're going to utilize is a call out to the server. That server that's embedded on the server side at the online banking application is going to create what's a color QR code that's proprietary to VASCO. They scan that image. That image then sends the activation codes, the security binaries, and the license to the phone to bind that user to that phone, to that session, to that ID on the server side. Once they do that, they're going to scan that code one more time, and that's going to implement all of the security functionality into that phone, along with what that phone is going to be used for and what capabilities are activated on that phone. From that point forward, all that customer needs to do every time they want to access their mobile application is to create a 4-digit local PIN that's securely stored with the application. And from that point forward, all that's needed to activate that two-factor transparent authentication is a 4-digit PIN. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go to the activation page, and what we're going to construe here in our minds is that this is, don't look at all the text or anything, but these QR codes are presented in an online session for a user to bind themselves to their mobile application. So Stephen, what you're looking at here is this QR transfer and how we're going to transfer the data. So if you could toggle over the mobile app, please. So Stephen and Endeavor also created our demo bank for our security environment. So first he's going to scan the code after he downloaded the app from the App Store. This is going to deliver the activation code and the license to the phone. The phone is going to create a unique signature and identifier that he's then going to enter back into the online session. That signature has now bound that phone to this user. He's also going to scan it one more time to take that security payload that we use for all our transactions in the future forward in the mobile application. Once it's activated, he's going to have that signature. And then all he has to do from there is enter in a 4-digit PIN to go in his app. But if we could, or first he's got to create that 4-digit PIN. Once he remembers it. So 1 second. So switch over to the next screen, please. So he did create a PIN. I guess we went from 1, 2, 3, 4 to 4, 3, 2, 1 or something. But now that the app is secure, once you enter that 4-digit PIN, that's not your password. That's not what you're sending over the clear. Once you're sending is a signature, but that signature also has that one-time password transparent to the user, but we're also checking for malware, rootkit, jailbreak, most importantly, I think to community and regional banks, geolocation. And that is being sent along with that one-time password to identify the threat level of that session. And also with these binaries, from that point on, we can go do transactions. In a different format of one-time passwords, we're creating electronic signatures with these transactions. So with a transaction, whether it's a person-to-person payment, a bill pay, even down to a wire transfer, if you're using strong two-factor authentication transparently from a bound device, you are just sending that transaction signature to the server side at the bank to validate that transaction. Once we check that person's phone during that session, we send a validation code back based on the information we received. Was everything okay? Once we send that back to the user, we allow them to say, yes, that's good, let's proceed.
I figured it out.
You got it? Okay. So the other thing you can do with a secure mobile application, and I hope you stop by our booth over in the final session, just toggle over real quick to Steven's phone. Let's do this again. And there you go. So the quick access pin is allowed access into the mobile application. So, and now we're going to do a secure transaction. Entering the amount. So as I said, what we're not sending over is the actual details of the transaction, but the signature of that transaction that can only be encoded and approved on the server side from Steven's device. So in a scenario of screen scraping, say you're using static username and password, and someone's entering that in their information, they can riff that and use it in the online channel. Only Steven's device can access this account from this point on with device binding. So from that point on, I ask you to visit our booth, VASCO Data Security. We're over by the much larger companies, FIS, ACI, and the ones that you probably recognize more. So stop on by. This mobile application, once it's activated and secure, we have clients who use it for the ATM channel, for receiving PINs for a debit card, along with logging in out of band so no one has to use another authenticator. Thank you very much.